What about the man returning to Anfield, Trent Alexander-Arnold? I don't know what kind of... Well, I have an idea what kind of reception he might get from Liverpool supporters, judging by this mural that was vandalised earlier today. It's Adios El Rata. You'd have to Google translate that one at home.
Yeah, you can work it out, I'm sure. I'm a little bit surprised at that. I think Liverpool fans, in my opinion, are some of the best fans in the world. They really are. They've got a bit of class about them, and I don't really like that. He's a young lad from the area. He's won 8 major trophies. He's come through the academy. He's trying something different. He's left the club on a free, and maybe some people would argue, he should have left and got money or whatever, got a lot of money for him. But, Jack Grealish left Aston Villa. They got 100 million. He got booed when he went back there. I just think, it just leaves a sour taste. I think they're a bit bigger and better than I hope he gets a really good reception tonight. I can't guarantee it. You said the mural's been sort of trashed today, so that doesn't bode well for him. But I think, he's a quality player. I really do. I think he's got some strengths. You going to ask Kenny about him as a player?
I'm going to ask Kenny about him as well. Yeah, just
Neil's next up.
Go on, then.
I think
Kenny's doing my job for me.
I'd love to see him get a good reception. He made a massive contribution to the club. All right, he's gone on to Real Madrid because that's what he wanted to do. But, talk about leaving the club for money. In the teams that he played in, they brought in plenty of money to the football club. So I don't think he owes anything to Liverpool. Well, he does. He owes his career to Liverpool.
These are the good old days, Neil.
I think he's respected. I mean, that's a fantastic record. Look, he's a top player. Kenny will have reservations about his defensive side, which I totally understand. But his passing range and his technique and his contribution in goals it cannot be overlooked. And he's not a
been overlooked tonight.
Hold on a minute, Kenny. He's not a Real Madrid for no reason. He's Real Madrid saying top players.
Yeah, but the reality is he's parked on the Real Madrid bench, and there's a central midfielder
he's been
playing.
Injured, hasn't he?
He's been
I don't think he's
the
fully
past
fit.
2 games. Yeah, look, I think it was a poor judgment calling him to go to Real Madrid. I don't think he's going to play too there. I don't think he's going to be there too long at Real Madrid. I hope he doesn't get a poor reception tonight, but I understand it. I understand the feelings of the Liverpool supporters, because this was a player who came through the system. We understand that, but he really wore his heart in his sleeve. And I remember public statements: Liverpool till I die. I love this club. It's a dream waking up every morning. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And I think Liverpool supporters bought that. They kind of said, yeah, we understand that. He's literally one of their own. So when he made the decision, the calculated decision, I'm going to leave now, I'm going to go to Real Madrid for whatever the reasons, I think that hurt. I think it hurt when he pitched up at Real Madrid, his first press conference, speaking fluent Spanish as well. This is something which obviously was in his head for quite some time. Of course, he has that option available to him.
Of course, it was in his head. He's a freedom of contract, so he probably had this from January to the end of the season already working.
You can't have it both ways. You can't say, why they criticise me? Well, they're criticising because
Trent's never said that.
He never came out and said, it's a dream for me to play for Liverpool Football Club.
No, I agree with you on that, but Trent's never said why they're criticising me. He probably understands why they're criticising him. This isn't coming from Trent, this is coming from the Liverpool fans.
But people are asked, you're throwing it out there, well, why would Liverpool fans be criticising? I can understand it. I don't like to see it, to be honest with you. I'd like to see Liverpool supporters maybe show a little bit more class and a little bit more respect towards him. But do I understand it? Because I think it's coming from a good place from Liverpool supporters. I think they're hurting the fact that he left the football club. That's my point.
I get that, but there's a way of showing you're hurt. And then there's another way of showing your appreciation for what he's done for the club as well.
The other thing you say, you don't boo bad players. He's a top player. You don't boo bad players. They don't come off the pitch tonight. If he comes on, they probably will boo him because that's probably the sentiment. But if he was a terrible player and Liverpool wanted him out, which has happened in the past, they wouldn't boo him then.
He seems to be writing off his Real Madrid career pretty quickly. You're saying he won't be there very long?
I have a feeling he might be there beyond the end of the season.
Why would they have gone to such lengths to get him out
they
of
got
the
him
Liverpool contract early to pay the $8.5 million playing in the Club World Cup?
Well, I think from a business point of view, it made sense. They're getting probably a £50 million player in a free transfer, knowing that if they moved him on within a year or 2 years, they'd make probably 30 to 40 million. He still has it all to prove. Carvalhal's out injured. He's got that going in his favour.
Why would Real Madrid need to... This isn't their business model to spin these players and to flip them for money.
I think it's every club.
Real Madrid buy superstars. They don't necessarily need 20 or 30 million. They want another superstar.
Carreras isn't a superstar. The left back they brought in, he's absolutely flying in the left back position. Don't always buy superstars. Goulart wasn't a superstar. I think there was business sense, of course, in terms of qualities which he has. Trent Alexander, we know that in terms of his attack and play, his delivery, crossing ability, all his stats. I understand that.
You don't buy Trent just to flip him the season later.
But they're buying him knowing if it doesn't. They're buying him knowing if it doesn't work out. They're probably somebody's going to put 30, 40 million on the table from at the end of the season. And if he doesn't play right between now and the end of the season, Carvajal comes back, or Valverde starts performing regularly in that right back position, it's not going to be easy for him to force his way in there. I don't think so.
Well, Carvajal's mid-30s now.
Oh yeah,
he's a top player, Carval, and it's not ideal for Valverde to play at right back either. So I think when he's fully fit, they'll play him, Kenny. Not all the time, but I think he'll play plenty of games. But I'm just not. He went off a hamstring strain early on in the game about a month ago, and I don't think he's fully recovered from that yet.
But he was loved at that football club. It's not as if Liverpool were mid-table way off it. Oh, the Liverpool aren't competing for Champions League.
This is a personal choice from a player to go and play for Real Madrid. It doesn't come around very often.
Liverpool, the club which is literally inside him. He's absolutely adored.
For Liverpool and
play another 150.
Kenny,
get another Champions League at Liverpool.
It's okay to try something new, a new adventure, a new country, and one of the biggest clubs in world football. It's okay.
For 7 years, did everything, and then he went to Barcelona.
Okay, Shay, Kenny's always relaxed. We know that. Okay, so we don't need to give him the pep talk.
He's got me stressed out my nut.